Hello, this is a video with my 2 cents on the biasing effects of visual media. The reason I'm doing this video is I noticed that as I went into the streets after having been bombarded with video after video recommended to me on YouTube, that it didn't really help me relate to other people well. Instead, I saw them through the lens of everyone else's agenda on YouTube. It was like if someone, even if they were correct, had some political take on some issue, and they said, oh, well, people who have this view, I don't agree with them for this reason or that reason. And then they'd, visually portray what people who have these beliefs look like. It would then cause me not to humanize people who not only, I don't know, have a certain take on a certain issue, but even not to humanize, I don't know, people who just have a certain appearance. And that wasn't good because, the Bible says that we shouldn't be partial towards others. It says that in the book of James. And so I noticed this was a negative impact. And so I stopped watching YouTube for a while, tried to stop visual media for a while. So I started reading books, tried to get into a bit of Lord of the Rings, which was, I'm still slogging through that one. But yeah, at the end of the day, I noticed once I stopped letting the algorithm dictate what was going around in my head, it was easier just to relate to other people as normal, regardless of appearance, regardless of what they looked like. I wasn't constantly having all these preconceived notions causing me to judge people. And what can I say? That's quite a liberating thing. Now I'm, back on trying to watch long form content, I guess, because it's easier to keep up with that because I don't want to not be aware of what's going on. But instead of, TikTok style, YouTube shorts, Facebook reels, these sorts of things constantly feeding me like political talking points the whole time, I'm kind of trying to limit exposure to that so I can come to terms with what I think about these issues. And I have found it much easier to just receive and humanize people as made in the image of God, rather than seeing them through the lens of everyone's talking point. Again, it doesn't really matter if these talking points or whatever are correct or not. Ultimately, I want the most substantial interactions I have with someone, if I disagree with them, if they, I don't know, have a certain appearance or whatever it is, I want those substantial interactions to be interpersonal interactions, rather than merely on the other side of a screen. Because one of the effects that has is I just kind of, not in a weird way, not in like the sexual way, but you kind of objectify people in the sense that you don't personalize them. You just reduce them to this representative of this thing that I don't like, or this, even someone who just looks like someone who I might disagree with. And that isn't helpful for humanizing people. I think that's a significant problem that visual media has had on us, regardless of, to be honest, which view people have in society. It doesn't really matter. I feel it has a hugely biasing effect if we're not careful. Also, I think these sorts of constant exposure to different opinions is a different, slightly different thread, especially when it comes to the more politicized videos that we're seeing, is that we have, I don't know how else to describe it, but we've adopted a form of mental deforestation. In a deforestation scenario, you have someone who has a resource, whether it's wood or whether it's some kind of useful, let's just say it's wood. Usually that's why people deforest. Sometimes it's just to clear the land, and the land itself is a resource. And so they just remove an entire ecosystem just for the sake of the single benefit. And it seems the more it proliferates, it seems kind of short-sighted, because people find out there are, potential cures for diseases that can be found in rare plants in these forests, and you lose out on that, let alone all the benefits that an ecosystem can offer. And you can even argue about the inherent benefits of biodiversity and stuff, but without even making a comment about those things, you're still losing out on stuff, useful resources, by just getting rid of the whole forest, because you want one resource. And I think in the same way, we're kind of trying too hard, in my view, to pay attention to whether people were watching. And that's why I said there's a different thread, but it still comes in through visual media, and it still has a biasing effect. And I suppose you could describe this as one of the effects, namely that we reduce people to, oh, do they seem allied with my set of views? Are they on my side? Have they been on the right talk shows? Have they been interviewed by the right people? Ooh, I don't like this. They've shaken hands with someone who I don't agree with. And so I'm not going to receive them as they are, humanize them, enjoy the complexity of everything that someone is, and just maybe see if there's something for me to learn from it. No. Instead, I'm going to only enjoy people to the extent that they seem to ally or align with my set of views. And you're just kind of deforesting everything that this person is. You're not benefiting from any other aspect of who they are. And just as with the forest, there's bad stuff, there's good stuff, there's stuff that, like you got predators that will do you damage, and you got fruit and resources and helpful things. So, in the same way, people can be a mixture of some things can be helpful, some things aren't, and they don't align neatly with the current political climate. And so, again, regardless of which set of views you adopt, I guess I'd caution, when watching visual media, try not to reduce people, even people who have views that you really find difficult to entertain and don't agree with. Don't reduce them to the fact that they don't align with a certain set of views that you might hold dear, because they often will have something useful to say, some useful insight that you can gain from it. People are not simple lists of hot button, multiple choice questionnaire style. Is this the correct opinion? Do you have this opinion correct? Do you have this? If not, then I'll throw it all out. That's not what people are. And so that's another dehumanizing, I suppose, trend that has accompanied the algorithm generated bombardment that we have from visual media today. And I think it would help if we, I don't know, I mean, to be honest, it depends on who you are, but it helps to take measures to just take things in at your own pace. It's good to be aware of current affairs, sure. But also having an algorithm bombard you with these things can have irrational effects on how you perceive the world. It can just give you an impression. It can just load you up with someone else's, maybe even potential prejudices that other people have, or at the very least, even if they're correct, it'll still make you view people through an ideological lens, when perhaps the best thing we can do is just receive people as they are. And if it turns out that they don't agree with us, or there's something that we wouldn't see eye to eye on, that's okay, because the first thing we've done is see that they're made in God's image and have received them in that light. And so I guess that's the thing that I kind of wanted to get off my chest, that has been very helpful to me. And I hope maybe even is helpful to you. That's kind of why I'm doing this. It's ironic that I'm doing this visually and you're kind of watching this video about someone complain about watching videos online. So I'm sorry about that, but I don't know, maybe this video is successful to the extent that it allows you to, I don't know, lets you feel encouraged to take some breathing space. Maybe if you watch a video, think about what you want to see, and maybe make it a documentary so it's longer, it's easier to take things in more gradually rather than being bombarded. Or maybe it can be a book or something like that. Again, it's your life, it's up to you. For me, I found this has helped reduce partiality and humanize other people in my life, and I think that is something that is very life-giving and has been very helpful. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. That's it for today. As if I've been doing this regularly, which I haven't, but yeah, there you go. That's it, at least for this day. God bless. Hope you have a good day too. Bye.